Hello friends, how are you all? My name's Nadine, welcome to my channel and happy Wine Wednesday. If that is not currently a thing, it should be. So, I was thinking about what we can chat about today and I realised I haven't made a Reading 50 States challenge video for ages. So I have spent a lot of time in Maine. And have I done much whilst I have been there? No. Did I stick to my grand plans of, well, I may not read a lot, but I have a massive Stephen King DVD collection, so I will rake it in there? Also, no. I didn't watch anything set in Maine during that period, and I read the book that was set. And in all honesty, I think that was the only book I read in October. Which is a bit sad, really. But hey ho, onwards and upwards. The next part of the trip is Vermont, so we will choose the Vermont book shortly. But first of all, let me waffle to you about this a little bit. So the book that was chosen randomly for the main leg of the journey was The Spell of the Sorcerer's Skull by John Bellairs. This is a children's book. I think it's the third in the series. You don't need to read the others. Arguably, you don't need to read this either. It was fine. So this is about a boy called Johnny Dixon, and he is on a trip with his friend who is a professor, Professor Childermus. I'm not quite sure what the relationship is there. I'm assuming that Johnny's clearly orphaned. I don't think it's spelled out in. It was ages ago that I read this now. But I think he was obviously orphaned. I think he lives with his grandparents, and the professor is a neighbour, but I don't know if he's like a family friend type person as well, or any. I don't think he's any sort of relation. Anyway, sorry, rambling. Oh my gosh. He's on a trip with the professor, right? And the car breaks down, and so they spend a night in a hotel. And whilst there, they see a clock that has been made by one of the professor's ancestors. And for some reason, Johnny steals this skull. He feels compelled to do it. That's part of the clock. So then once they return home, it's kind of forgotten about a little bit, and then weird things start happening around the professor's house, and then the professor goes missing, and it's all very odd. And yeah, mainly this is actually not set in Maine, but in New Hampshire, and the last part of it is in Maine. So I don't know if I should really include it, but it's the only book I read, so I'm going to. Yeah, the final part was in Maine and trees. That's very much all I've learned about Maine from this experience. Maine has trees, which, in all honesty, I already knew that. So didn't educate me much there, did you, John Bellairs? So anyway, yeah, it was all right. It was fine. My son wants to read this next. I'm in two minds about whether or not to give it to him, not because it's spooky or anything like that, but just because this particular edition had some spelling mistakes and some typos of that description, and my son is total grammar police. I have no idea where he gets it from. I really don't. He's only 10. And in his parents' evening as well recently, you're not interested, but I'll tell you anyway, his teacher also told me that it's awful when she makes a mistake because he picks up on it. So maybe she shouldn't make mistakes. But yeah, anyway. So that was that. It was fine. Sort of 3 out of 5. I wish I'd have read more. I picked up some other books. One that AJ done, recommended Olive Kittredge, is it? I can't remember. I bought it, but I didn't get to it, unfortunately. So the next leg of the journey is Vermont, and I have had a look through Goodreads, the Vermont list, as I always do for these challenges, and I picked some books based solely on either the cover art on the little thumbnail or the title, and I haven't looked into it any further than that because I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm reading things that I wouldn't pick up ordinarily. So there wasn't much, actually, like really not a lot of things, and I was surprised because I was expecting this time of the year as well, I was expecting something festive to come up, but there wasn't really anything. So yeah, no real festive books for Vermont, but I am sure that I will make a killing on crap Hallmark Christmas movies because I think they're pretty much all set in Vermont. So yeah, there should be lots of money going into my bucket list fund from that. So yeah, because weirdly I love horror films and crap Christmas movies. I don't know why, but God, I can watch them all day. So there were 17 books in my list. So let's do random number generator, see what we've got and see what it's about. So number 9, which is Bed and Breakfast and Murder by Patty Larson. I think I can guess what this is about. Oh no, I'm such a fool, I've gone off Goodreads. There it is. Just talk amongst yourselves for a moment. My laptop's loading. So, what was it? Dead and Breakfast and Murder. Bed and Breakfast and Murder. Dead and Breakfast is a zombie film. Okay, so that is Fiona Fleming, book 1. Okay, so let's see. The tagline is a poo-poo kind of morning. Why don't I read these things before I put them on a list? I'll probably love it, won't I? Okay. I tried not to look down the mouth of hell staring back at me from inside the glaringly pristine outer ceramic shell of the white throne, my throat catching, stomach doing, half flips and a rather impressive rollover routine that would have gotten at least a 9.5 even from the Russian judges. Instead, I forced myself to smile and swallow and remind myself that elbow-length yellow rubber gloves grasping the handle of the standard issue plunger were all that stood between me and Pooh-geddon. Fiona Fleming hasn't lived in Reading, Vermont in over a decade, her escape from small-town living leading her to New York City and a life of adventure. An adventure that has left her with no career, an ex who cheated on her, and zero plans for the future. Her grandmother's death grants her a new chance. Inheriting Petunia's, Iris Fleming's bed and breakfast seems like the ideal fresh start. But when Fee finds out ownership of the property, Iris willed her might be in question, she's drawn into the seedy underbelly of the cutest town in America after being singled out as the main suspect in a murder. Yeah, probably okay. I like stuff like that, don't I? Let's be honest. So yeah, I will get that ordered. And I'm thinking rather than doing the trips like I planned, because my reading's kind of hit and miss at the moment, I'm going to call it December and January is Vermont. And then from there, it will be, in my very poorly planned trip, Pennsylvania, apparently. So there we have it. So what have you guys been up to? I've had quite an eventful week. I quit my job on Friday, which I had a few days of, oh, what am I doing? But I'm really drowning at the moment in everything that I've got going on. and I'm certain that what I'm studying for is what I want to do with my life, so something had to go. And apparently I can't get rid of the children, so it had to be the job. So yeah, that's me. So hopefully I should have a bit more free time anyway, and not just be an exhausted mess constantly. Other than that, I don't think I've got much to report. I'm reading The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin, which so far so good. Oh, and I'm reading also on my Kindle The Graves set, the second one of that. So the first one was Chasing Graves, which I really enjoyed. And then I'm on to the next one, which is called something else that I can't remember. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling now. And I will see you again for Wine Wednesday next week. Catch you later, guys. Bye.